Hello everyone, I'm Next Gen Step. I'll be talking about a game I played on the ladder in Zerg versus Terran. I usually don't play Zerg, but I'm going to be hopping into Zerg right now because Zerg is actually a fairly fun race to play, and I'm going to be showing you a Zerg versus Terran. And I know a little bit about Zerg versus Terran from watching some people play, but in this game I'm going to be going hatchery first into a gas geyser into a spawning pool. Pretty much the most greedy Zerg opening versus Terran other than the triple hatchery before spawning pool, but I'm not going to get too greedy. I'm just greedy enough where I can survive. That's the for drones, you want to drone so hard without dying. That's pretty much the way you play Zerg, but he's going to be not going for a CC first. If I saw the CC first, I would go for a triple hatchery before the spawning pool, but that's not the case. And the way you tell is if like his command center is pretty much done by the time you get to the other side of the map. I know these things. I play Terran, so I'm going to be building a gas geyser at 17 supply, and then I'm going to be building a spawning pool on the high ground, not on the low ground, because I'm just used to saying on the low ground, because I'm a Terran player. So I'm going to be droning up my main base, which is pretty standard. Usually you don't drone up your natural right now because it's not done. So I'm going to be flying an overlord over there, and he on the other side of the map I'm scouting for a natural, and it looks like he doesn't have a natural yet. So kind of late natural, but the latest natural that you usually see is 5 minutes by Terran, and that's the Rax expand. But usually you see a fairly greedy opener from Terran and Terran versus Zerg. Usually they get their third command centers around 24 supply, which is really greedy, but I like to be greedy as a Terran player, so just relating to people. So I'm going to be droning up that base. These two Zerglings are to chase off any Reaper aggression, and I'm going to be sending those to the other side of the map because I see that there is no Reaper, and it is most likely a Marine opener. Now, he's going to be building a starport already, very quick starport, and I'm going to be injecting there. Very soon I'm going to be adding on more gas geysers, and I'm going to be I'm going to be starting double upgrades in a lair and Zergling speed. So, I should be starting Zergling speed pretty soon. There we go, double EVA chamber is going down. I'm putting drones back in the gas, and starting gas geysers 2 and 3, and I'm also going to be starting +1/+1 when that finishes, but I'm starting a lair and Zergling speed. So now I'm going to be creep spreading with these two queens. Those are going to be dedicated to creep spread, and then once my third base goes up, which is going up right now, once my third base goes up, then one of those queens that are creep spreading will be dedicated to the what's the thing called? They'll be dedicated to larva injecting. So I'm going to be flying an overlord at about around 7 minutes, which is a standard time to see where your opponent's going for or whatnot, but it turns out he's going for a Hellion drop, which does a substantial amount of damage to me in the beginning. But I want to show you as Zerg how you can recover from these types of Hellion drops if they do a lot of damage. So there we go, you see on the minimap he is going for this Hellion drop, and I'm not paying attention, and they just go in and roast a couple of drones. I'm not exactly sure how many drones that is, but I did scout the starport, and I didn't spread my overlords too well because I thought a Viking might come out and destroy all my overlords, and I didn't want that. So just being kind of safe with my overlords, I only have one on the other side of the map to scout for his natural and his third base. So I'm going to be droning up my natural in my third base. Now, another chance for me to come back in the game, where Zerg can come back in the game, is where they can cancel the third base of the Terran. So if you can't keep denying the third base of the Terran, they won't be able to get a strong economy, and they won't be able to get enough army up to destroy the Zerg. So I'm going to be starting my Spire and my Baneling Nest, because my lair just finished, and I'm going to be starting Baneling Speed very shortly. Just spreading a ton of creep. Creep is very important in Terran versus Zerg, just to spot drops and spot when they're pushing and whatnot. Because Terran bio is very mobile. So my 1-1 is about to finish right now. I'm going to decide not to push because my third base is not done being saturated. So I'm going to be starting my 2-2, and I'm also going to be just droning so heavily. And droning up my third base, and once my third base is done, which means 16 drones on the minerals, then I shall be getting a fourth base. Hold on a second. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now... Alright, so my Zerling Scout on the other side of the map, and I'm going to be just to keep him on Overlords. Overlords are pretty important to keep up on supply, and I have a few safety banes in the main in case he drops me. I might sound a little weird here because I'm covering a bloody nose, but I'm going to be just droning really heavily. I should be getting more and more gas geysers to afford mutas. There we go. And at the third base, I should be getting gas geysers as well. My banelings are going to come from the back, and that looks so good from the Zerg point of view. And he is going to be shut down for a while. He just lost 2 medevacs worth of Marines, and I'm starting to produce a ton of Zerglings. Now, I should be building some mutas soon. It's just I don't have the gas geysers here. Here we go. I should have gotten those earlier. And I'm going to be droning up my fourth base fairly soon. I don't have a fourth base yet, although I should be droning it up once I get it. So my 2-2 is done, and I should be transitioning toward hive once my next attack hits. But I'm going to be building a ton of mutas. Okay, should be building more mutas. Come on, build mutas. Alright, I'm building a fourth base. And I'm spreading a ton of creep. Look at all this creep. Look at all this creep. Okay, I see his drop. I'm going to move right in there. And I don't want to lose the queen. Never want to lose the queen in Zerg. It's kind of annoying. Just saying. So, he's going to be moving out of there. I don't have mutas to chase it down yet, which I should have built earlier. Which I have. I'm piling 1,000 gas, 1,000 minerals. What are you doing? Next gen, what are you doing? You have to buy some stuff. Just now I build like 10 mutas, but come on. I should have been building stuff. So he's going to be establishing his third, and as I can see that there, from my Overlord, no, I think my Overlord died. I don't know how I scouted that. My Zergling on the other side of the map, I think. So, he's also going to be building a bunker there, although my 2-2 is done, and I'm just going to charge in here. Planetary Fortress is not complete yet. I have to get the full surround, and he's not able to repair it, and I do get the cancel. Look at all these mutas that I could have chased down the medevacs earlier. Not very good by me. He tanks siege late, and I'm just going to be able to wreck this Terran force, but not yet, because he is in a defensive position, but at least I denied the third base. So I'm going to be making an infestation pit, and transitioning toward hive very shortly. And I'm going to be getting 3-3 adrenal glands, ultralisk cavern, all that, and that is going to crush the Terran opponent. Now I'm going to be getting +2 attack for my mutas, and I'm going to be getting gas geysers in the fourth base. Now 5 bases is where ultralisks come into play, so I can't afford ultralisks just yet. I need my 5th base up and running. And my mutas have +1, which means they do 10 damage and it bounces, which is kind of nice. And my queen is about to pop in the 4th base, so I'm going to be injecting in 4 bases. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to be making a lot of mutas. I'm going to be really muta heavy. Like, look at all these mutas. I'm not going to be as Link Bane heavy. And he's going to be dropping there. And I have so many mutas that it's just going to overwhelm him. And I can just replace that Evo chamber because it wasn't researching anything, so no upgrades are going to be late. He's probably like, yeah, I killed an Evo chamber. I just delayed one of his upgrades, but really no. He actually didn't do anything with that drop. He just gave me free units. That's what he did. So I see this morphing into an orbital command, and I'm like, you greedy retard. I'm just gonna go in here, kill off that. My banelings are coming in from the back. Oh, but he tanks it with his marauders very nicely. But I'm microing my zerglings to kill off as many marines as possible, and my mutas are just going to be able to clean up all these marines. So I'm just gonna move back for now, just play it safe, because I denied the third base once again. I denied it again. So now I'm gonna be starting my 3-3, my adrenal glands, and look at this, the Ultra Cavern. Now, like I said before, you need 5 bases to support Ultralisks. So I'm going to be... I blocked my own base with my creep tumor there. That wasn't good. So I'm going to be getting my 5th base up. And my creep spread is all the way half across the map. Not the best creep spread. But I'm mainly focusing on my Lingbane Muta composition. He's going to be charging in across the map. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't let my 5th base die. And I'm going to be charging in with all my Mutas and Lings and Banes. And I don't see any Widow Mines in that army. And I'm like, well, you don't have any Widow Mines. Let's get a full surround in your army and get this delicious, nutritious Terran army and gobble it up. And that's the end of his life. You can see his army supply is crazy low. His supply overall is 80. So if he has 50 SCVs, he has about 30 army supply. 60 or 70 SCVs is more standard, so he probably has like 10 supply. What is that, like 8 Marines and a medevac? Anyway, 6 Ultralisks are in production for me. And I'm just going to be, once these Ultras pop, I'm just going to be going in. I'm going to be going in with these Ultras, and nothing's going to stop me because I just swallowed that Terran army. He's not going to have anything. So, these Ultras just now popped, 6 Ultralisks in total. I'm going to be starting my chitinous plating, and I'm going to be going all the way across the map and swallowing all this Terran juice, all these delicious, nutritious juices that Zerg likes. And here we go! I'm just going to be... the poor Marines. The poor Marines. Look, the poor Marines. They couldn't stand a chance. They never stood a chance. And there's no GG because the Zerg swarm came, as was foretold, and they just killed every single human being. And he's Han Solo, my opponent, my Terran opponent, says no GG for you because Ultras, that was just too disrespectful. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be posting some more Zerg videos just for fun in the near future. And if you liked it, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. But whatever you do, you want to subscribe because you'll be the first one to see when my new videos come out. And bye! Ah! Brad. Ow! My bloody nose.